Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in today's video I will be going over the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders and announcements for August 4th, 2023. Now keep in mind, release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video. Also, be sure to check out my previous 4K pre-order videos for titles you may be looking for and were not covered here. Direct Amazon links to the titles listed in this video when they are live can be found on the channel's community page. Vinegar Syndrome announced this week that sometime at the end of August, the 4K edition of the film Killer Condom will be made available over at the Vinegar Syndrome website. A wide release is also expected at various online retailers. As far as Vinegar Syndrome titles go, this is definitely right up their alley. So head on over to Vinegar Syndrome's website to order your copy. While you're over there, head on over to Vinegar Syndrome's sister site, Miluzine, for the 4K edition of The Tale of Tiffany Lust. Also arriving sometime in August, and it will support HDR and DTS audio. We now have an official release date for the 4K edition of Kiss the Girls. That release date will be September 12th. HDR and Dolby Vision are expected. We've no word yet on the audio if it's going to be upgraded, but I suspect it'll be the same track from the previous release. Disney announced this week that the 4K edition of the Pixar film Elemental will be arriving September 26th. HDR and Dolby Atmos audio are expected. Now, what you see here might actually only be available at the Disney Movie Club. I know they did this recently with the other Pixar film, Strange Worlds. It might continue here. I will update that information when it is out. But you can get a 4K edition of Elemental at Walmart with an exclusive cover, and I believe it's going to include an enamel pin. And finally, Best Buy will also be carrying an exclusive edition steelbook only at that website. None of these pre-orders are active as of this recording, but I expect it to change very shortly. Once again, the release date will be September 26th. The 4K edition of Halloween H2O has been finally made official from Paramount. That release date will be September 26th, and it will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS audio. Now, this looks to be only available as a steelbook edition. It's not exclusive to Best Buy or anything. I didn't see anything for a standard slip. So if you're a fan of the film and you don't mind the steelbook edition, you can pick up your copy at the end of September. While not given an official release date, it looks like sometime probably towards the end of September, the 4K edition of the film Malum will be available. Shout Factory Screen Factory announced their October 4K slate this week. And first up, October 3rd, will be the 4K edition of Night of the Demons. The sequels, also 2 and 3, are going to be made available as Blu-rays only, and it will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS audio. In addition, Shout Factory Screen Factory's 4K of Pumpkinhead will be out on October 10th. And last but certainly not least, the 4K of The Blob will be coming October 17th. Just keep in mind, this is the remake. This is not going to be the original film. I'm hoping one day we'll get a 4K of that, but I'm still pretty excited nonetheless. Kino Lorber made official the actual release date for the 4K of Red Dragon. That will be October 24th. HDR and Dolby Vision and DTS audio will be included for this release. And just an update to last week's announcement of Cujo arriving also on the 24th. We now have the cover art, which I suspected was going to be the case all along here, but it's pretty cool that both of these from Kino Lorber will be made available at the end of October. Now, it looks like Sony might be releasing a 4K edition of the film Body Double, and allegedly it's going to be released sometime in October. We don't have any official artwork or tech specs, but if this is indeed a Sony release, I fully expect HDR and Dolby Vision, no word yet on the audio. Stay tuned to the channel for more updated information. I was supposed to include this in last week's video, but it just slipped through the cracks. But on November 14th, Walmart will be carrying an exclusive 4K steelbook edition of The Man Who Killed Hitler and then Bigfoot, and it will be available only at that retailer. It's currently up for pre-order over on Walmart's website. Now, we don't have official tech specs, so I don't know exactly if it's going to include HDR. It could go either way, but DTS audio should be a lock. Already up for pre-order over at Amazon and Best Buy and other retailers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem on 4K is going to be arriving sometime, I would expect, probably in October. HDR and Dolby Vision are going to be included, and Dolby Atmos audio. There will be a standard slipcover edition as well as a non-exclusive steelbook. Once again, both of these are currently up for pre-order over at Amazon, so lock in your copy. Well, I think we all knew this was coming, as a 4K edition of Violent Night is scheduled to arrive before the end of the year. I expect sometime in November, December. It looks like Universal will be handling this release, so if you're going based off the digital copy available, I fully expect to see HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio. Stay tuned to the channel when this becomes official with a release date and cover art. Kino Lorber announced this week that sometime probably in 2024, the 4K edition of Sea of Love starring Al Pacino will be made available. HDR and Dolby Vision are expected, as well as DTS audio. It's time to go over some international pre-orders and announcements, and don't forget, most 4K discs are region-free. This was announced previously, but the UK will be getting the 4K edition of The Pianist starring Adrian Brody. That release date will be September 18th. Now, I still can't locate official tech specs, but I think HDR is probably likely, as well as DTS audio. This will be made in other markets as well. I believe France is getting a copy and possibly Germany, so you'll definitely be able to pick this one up in September. In France, on September 20th, literally called the 80s Nostalgia box set of 4K titles such as Poltergeist, Gremlins, and Goonies will be made available. This is currently up for pre-order over at Amazon France. In previous videos, we've seen the 4K Steelbook edition of the film U571. Well, on September 25th, the UK will be getting a standard version available at various online retailers. Over in France, they will be getting An American Werewolf in London on 4K October 3rd. I fully expect this to have the same transfer as the Arrow video release last year, which includes HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS audio. I believe this is now currently up for pre-order over at the Amazon France website. In what looks to be an exclusive to the FNAC website, it looks like the recent Halloween trilogy on 4K will be out on October 17th. The Steelbook editions, once again, are going to be only available at the FNAC site, and it will have the same transfer, which is HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio from its US counterparts. France will also be getting, on October 17th, their 4K edition of Wings of Desire. It is expected to have the same transfer as the other markets, which means no HDR grading, unfortunately, but DTS audio will be included. Also available sometime in October in Australia, their 4K edition of the film Possession will be out as a collector's edition, and I believe there's also another limited edition without all the additional swag. No actual release date yet, but once again, October is the targeted time, and I do expect HDR and DTS audio to be included with this release. No word yet if a domestic US release will be made available. I expect so, probably in the near future. So those are this week's 4K pre-orders and announcements for August 4th, 2023. Don't forget to use the Amazon affiliate links in the community page or the comment section below if you're interested in any of the titles listed here. And also be sure to let me know what titles I talked about in the video you're planning to pick up for yourself. And finally, a special thank you to my Patrons. Your continued support is very much appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description and comment section of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.